Thomas with a steal on the jam.
Read it beautifully.
That right there is a statement.
Oh, hello.
Big play from Tajir McCall. Here is Bryce Cotton. Oh! And he flies! He needs no introduction. One last roll of the dice. And by.
There it is. There it is. Oh! There we go, big fella.
Appreciating his own work, which we love to see it.
We're into the final round of the regular season, and it's hard to imagine that we're having the conversation about the Perth Wildcats making the finals. It was a shaky start to NBL23, but John really has been able to rally the troops in the second half of the season, and they've been led by the competition's very best player, Bryce Cotton. So we head into their final two games, and the equation is a simple one for the team in red. Win both and book your spot in the final series. Great to have your company for Friday Night Hoops. Jack Heverin joined alongside the living legends Leonard Copeland and Andrew Gaze. They've just got to win, Perth, as simple as that.
It is, and the way they've been playing since really, I guess, the new year has been, and particularly at home, has been fantastic. And there we see the ladder 14 and 12. They've got 2 home games remaining. I guess if you, worst case scenario, you lose them both, you could be out. Win one of those, and it's highly likely you're going to be in. So they'd be keen to take care of business tonight. And also, if they're going to win and they're in a winning situation, percentages could be a factor, either for making the playoffs or where you might sit in the playoffs. So it's a lot to play for tonight for the Perth Wildcats.
And a reminder, the Wildcats have got the Kings in the final game of the season on Sunday. Copes for the Cairns Taipans. They come in with a few issues of their own right now in terms of injury, but take a look at what's happening for them at the moment. Keanu Pinder may or may not return 1st of March. Tajir McCall's a game-time decision. Shannon Scott carrying a finger injury, and we won't see Mirko Jeric until the playoffs.
Never underestimate the wounded dog. Let me tell you something. They can come in here with nothing to lose and get hot. And because Perth's been in this situation before, last year at the same time, they lost at the end of the year.
They did, the Phoenix.
Trying to get into Phoenix, trying to get into the playoffs. So they got to be careful. These guys can come in and shoot the ball very well.
The Taipans coming off a loss on Monday to the Adelaide 36ers. They went down by 3, but they were a little bit shaky at times, except for this man on your screen, Sam Wardenberg. His first season here in the Hungry Jacks NBL. He was superb for the Snakes, had 26 points and was 9 of 10 from the free throw line in that game on Monday.
No, he's a star, and he comes from great pedigree in regards to where he played his collegiate basketball. Played in the ACC for Miami, big-time program and playing against big-time teams. So he comes in with a lot of experience. He's not scared of the moment. He can knock down the 3 ball. He's a good athlete around the rim. He can put it to the deck, and he can finish with the 2 hands. He's an excitement machine, as is Luke Travers. You can see the head-to-head. A lot of similarities between these two. And these two, I think, will go a long way to determining who's going to win this ball game.
And these two have been nominated for the Generation Next, or the Next Generation, I should say, award, which will be crowned on Tuesday at the Gazies. Speaking of the Gazies, the Defensive Player of the Year is named after this man, a legend of the Perth Wildcats, Damien Martin. Courtside, as always, Damo, we're back here again the following season after what was a final weekend for Perth last season that they probably don't want us talking about.
No, it is deja vu. Two more games to close out the regular season, and they need to win if they want to play in the postseason. It feels like I was only here watching South East Melbourne bring an end to the 35 years of playoff streak. Let's hope they can get a win tonight if you're a Wildcat supporter, but it's going to be a big ask for them. They went back-to-back losses at the end of last season's regular season. They need at least 1, possibly 2, to be able to advance, as we see what happened only 12 months ago.
Damo, what about Bryce Cotton? There he is on our screens at the moment, coming off a 40-piece last Friday night against the Illawarra Hawks. He's played a lot of minutes in recent times.
You're exactly right. And on the back end of these doubleheaders they've had, they have struggled to get wins. But on those Friday night games, you've seen the Wildcats put up 106, 110 points. And Bryce Cotton, in my opinion, is the MVP. Xavier Cooks has been the best player on the best team and had an amazing year. Mitch Creek, too big, too strong, too crafty. Take nothing away from him either. But Bryce Cotton, he's been an MVP 3 times. And you look how the numbers stack up. He's averaging more points, slightly down on assists, but he's been incredible once again.
Great to have you with us as always, Damo. Let's take a look at the champions starting 5 for the Perth Wildcats, who can afford to drop one if they really, really want to make life difficult, but great opportunity as we take a look at their starting lineup. But the good news for Perth, Drewy, Ty Webster has been cleared to return from a hamstring injury.
Well, that's right, and he had been starting before he got hurt. Luke Travers come in, so they've got a nice replacement for him, and hopefully Ty Webster, we believe he's going to be playing in this game, so hopefully he's fully recovered from that. But this Perth Wildcats team have been sensational. We take a look at the starters for the Taipans, who have got a number of issues, and Jono Antonio gets a start, so he provides a little bit more scoring out there for the Taipans, and they're going to need it because the evidence since the new year, particularly at home, they've been averaging 105 points, if you don't mind, and a stunning 13 three-point made at 46%. So they've been on fire offensively in this building.
They are here tonight, the Taipans, with the bare essentials.
But don't count them out, Jackie boy. Don't count them out.
They're playing for second.
Absolutely.
This game means the world to them. There's a big difference with the new way of the playoff structure, the difference between second and third. A chance to rest and watch on. He caught up in the early part of the series. It's Waterberg. Look at the defensive play. Shannon Scott out there with a finger injury. He can't score. Cotton on the move early.
We make it, and what a move. But it's because he's such an elite three-point shooter. The little hesitation, he gets DJ Hoga off his feet, I think it was, and just blows straight by him for the easy two. But if you can't hit the three ball like that, they're not biting on that three-point, that little fake.
The fake's just out his eyes. He raises his eyes.
Ooh, speaking of three ball, DJ Hogue shooting it at 35% across the season.
And isn't he having a good year? Just solid from the outside. Great defender.
Sean Thomas in his room. Little push with the right hand, no good. Third meeting of the season between these two teams. They played in round 2. Perth won 105-76, and in round 11 in Cairns, Perth won 105-83.
Ooh.
They've dominated.
Well, that's a hook, isn't it?
And the points will count.
Oh, it's going to be a defensive foul. Looked like there might have been a hint of a little hook. And have a look down low.
Drew, you've been wrong all night, and we're so glad you're just a basketball
did you see
player,
that,
not
Coach?
a referee. Because you wouldn't have made it as a referee, bro. You've been wrong all night.
Well, it's...
Just, hey, bro, let the professionals do their job.
Well, I just saw the hook, Coach, and it just not... There might have been a little something before it that I missed, perhaps.
It's pass, Manic for Webster. Inside for Sean Thomas, and Jonah Antonio got him over the back.
Looks like we're going to double team Thomas on the inside and make it hard for him to get going.
It's a rebound by Bill Quall. 15-6 against Adelaide. And was told to go to work, and does exactly that.
We had the size advantage down low and just got to his preferred spot, and an easy two.
If it works one time, I don't see why they don't go back to it, because, again, when you got those smaller guards out there, they're going to take advantage of you on the offensive end. Take advantage of them when you get down on the offensive end.
Quall thought about getting that three ball away. They go back to him. Rattles out. Rebound by Brady Manick. He's 18 of 37 from outside in his last 5 games, Brady Manick. He's been lights out. Couldn't get that one to stick. Just on Quall in the corner. It's off target as well. Loose ball falls back to the Taipans. Another offensive rebound. Cairns all over them on the offensive glass. Quall gets his own rebound and scores. That's 4 offensive rebounds, 8 in total in less than 4 minutes.
Yeah, they're dominating. It's an area that the Perth Wildcats have had problems with all season. as far as total rebounds, at the very least. Last, in fact.
Dead last.
And this is an example of it. You see the kick, nice shot. Now that one you put down, or maybe a little lucky, just get a bad bounce. And these two right here, there you see Webster just not doing a good enough job boxing out. And Wall just goes to his spot in front of the rim, misses it, and gets his own rebound.
2 more for Cotton. Jonah Antonio starting tonight. He's not a player that should be left open like that.
No, sir. He can let it fly.
Scott flies up the other end. Ooh. That's caught his foot. It's out of bounds.
You heard John really screaming out in the background. He doesn't want anyone helping off on the corners. I'll have a look at the kick and whack. There is a Falcon that we don't like to see with the fans. That will hurt. You see the young fella in front. Hopefully he's okay. That's a nasty knock to the head.
It's out for Webster. His first look no good. Bryce with the offensive rebound. How does he do the things that he does?
Machine. He's a machine.
Well, it's the effort on the boards as well. And just the body control. Once he knows the ball's hit, so here's the first one. There's the effort. Then he gets hit, and it's just the control and composure that he has, even after getting hit, that a lot of people are just chucking it somewhere up there, but he's still able to maintain good touch and fights through the contact and comes up with a three-point play.
He's made of rubber.
He is.
Ty Webster, Corey Webster, Cotton, Travers and Manick on the floor for Perth. Hogue, Antonio, Ben Air in for his first minutes. Wardenberg and Qual for the Cairns Taipans. Knocked down from Wardenberg. He's got 5 quick points in this game.
He was available on the box early on and he didn't get it, but he's good enough even on the perimeter. He can just use his size to shoot over Bryce Cotton.
Travers tips that in. One thing we know about this Perth team is that they will try and match it with you all night long at the offensive end. Their issues are at this end. Wardenberg can't score and then picks up a cheap foul.
Because it doesn't help to have 3 smaller guys in your starting lineup, I guess, or on the floor at the same time.
Sub coming in for the Taipans, but Juk Deng checking in for the first time. Let's get courtside to Damian Martin.
I know you can hear a little bit of what Adam Ford is saying through his microphone, but I'm loving hearing all of it. Every single possession, it's nothing but positivity. And I'm a big believer that players are at their best when they're mentally switched on, they're physically fit, and they're playing full of confidence. Ford is the type of coach that instills that confidence in each of his players. Make or miss, he's saying, great shot, go again. Post-ups with Bull Qual, he's just saying, go at it, go at it. I love the positivity he's given to his players so far.
Yeah.
He's done a great job in Cairns, too. He really has. Whoa.
There's a bit of slipping going on.
Travers is going to have to get creative. Hogue might have got a little piece of that one too. It's a different looking Taipans lineup out there tonight. The key planks not available. Juk Deng tried to find air inside and can't.
There's another example of it. We heard 40 on the sideline just telling his play to go to work. And as a shooter coach, that brings a lot of confidence, because there are times in games when you're in the half-court set when you catch and you feel like you're open, and sometimes you second-guess yourself. But when you know that your teammates and the coach that, hey, this is your shot, you go ahead and take it. You shoot it with a lot more peace of mind, and in those circumstances like Damien was talking about, have a far greater chance of knocking it down. And go.
he wasn't your coach because the way you shot the ball, man, no one else would ever got a shot.
Coach, have you not set the stats? I mean, you were just I mean, honestly, we all celebrated when the only way we got it out of your hands was it slipped. And here you are trying to point the finger at me. That was high percentage. You were throwing up rubbish.
Rubbish won you 2 rings, bro. Won you 2 rings, bro.
That was when you look at the attempts between you two, there wasn't much left for anyone else in that Tigers team.
No.
Oh, you got a few just from the second shots. Gee, they've looked organised, haven't they?
They did.
Yep. They don't look flustered by the circumstances.
It seems like he's picky, like he's trying to post up and he's picking on the size of the Perth Wildcats because 3 or 4 shots have been posted up and they're going to the offensive glass.
Webster fires away. His first field goal attempt, no good.
Well, they're 0-4 from the 3-point line. As I said, since the news, and I think they're 4 home games, they've been able to shoot it at 48%, and Ben Hare just walks in.
I love his confidence.
And it's an 8-point buffer.
Wildcats better wake up.
To finish second, Cairns need to win tonight and hope for Brisbane to knock off New Zealand tomorrow. Paul Quai with the block shot.
Got red. 11 on the rebound.
Cotton called for the foul. Here's the Amy replay. He's been there and then Cotton with the foul after that. Not a great deal in it.
Well, I reckon if you're a Cairns fan now, that you'd be a little concerned because Tajir McCall yet to come in. And
don't they need to sweep the floors? The guys are slipping in the same spot here.
it's like the 2nd or 3rd time we've seen some slipping. So there they are. They've come out just to tidy things up. But Tajir McCall, you'd normally see him in the game by now. And the fact that he's not there, alarm bells will be ringing if you're a Cairns Taipans fan.
Well, Damien Martin's got some clarification on that. Damo, what's the story?
Yeah, when Bryce dropped his 7th point, I thought there's for sure going to be a timeout or a substitution here and bring in Tajir McCall, one of the best defenders in the league. He won't be playing tonight. So that's a big loss for the Cairns Taipans. He's one of the best defenders in the league, a high-energy guy, but I've just spoken to the medical team. And unless they're pulling porkies on me, he won't be out there.
Nicely done, Damo.
Wow.
So no Keanu Pindon, no Mirko Jerry.
Jeez.
No Tajir McCall, Shannon Scott and Sam Wardenberg playing under duress. They've suited up 10. McCall was one of them, so they're suiting up 9. And well, with respect to Josh Davey, we've hardly seen him all season, so really playing with 8 tonight.
That is a beat-up team, isn't it? And they're up by 8. What does that tell you?
Might tell us a fair bit about this group by the end of the night. Scott, he's off target, but Juk Deng a big rebound. He lost the handle, and Mitch Norton into the game with some early success.
Well, I think they need someone like Mitch Norton to come out there, give him a little bit of defensive punch. He can be disruptive, and he can also get out there and put some heat on the rim like he does right here.
There's McCall helping coach on the sidelines.
14 rebounds to 5.
That's not going to get it done.
But this is a common thread with the Perth Wildcats over the season. And it's difficult when you're always giving a rebounding advantage to your opponents.
So you try a guy like Majuk, coach, or if you're struggling that much on the rebound, and give him a job to do, go in and grab every rebound.
I think it's been obvious since probably about the halfway mark that they've decided just to prioritise offense. So we might have some deficiencies at this end of the floor. So we're just going to outscore people, and they've been very good at it. But there comes a point in time you've got to be able to put a little bit more defensive pressure on. And this type of basketball, you can, when you've got this offensive talent, can work, but it's hardly the type of basketball you see being successful in a playoffs where the intensity raises.
And you got a rebound.
Look at Ben Air go to work. They are galvanised right now, this Cairns group.
What does this mean? What's happening here, Gazy?
Well, it's if you're hanging your hat on your offense when you're 5 of 17 at 29%, that ain't going to cut it. And down the other end of the floor, you're getting eviscerated on the boards, and the Cairns Taipans of 10 of 18 at 55%. So it's pretty easy to see what's going on here.
Coach, Perth look flat.
They look flat, they really do. Big crowd, must-win game. There's no urgency. There's no, I mean,
there's no way they want to leave it to Sunday against the Sydney Kings, surely.
not playing defense like this because they'd be in trouble, real trouble. With Sydney coming up in here. Oh, you come on, man.
That is as easy as it gets. Lat Mayan into the game. 14-point lead in the opening quarter. A reminder that Perth ideally need to win both games. Absolutely must win one to finish 5th or 6th. And right now, they trail by 14 and they've got the ladder leaders on Sunday who don't like them.
That's right.
No, that's right. And there's no connectivity between the players. That time there, Mitch Norton was out of the picture. He's hustling back to try and get back there and help out in the defensive transition. But other players aren't aware of everyone else's problems. And they're not getting back and easy opportunities.
This is one of those timeouts you stand up.
Well, here's the live ladder. When we flip the page, you'll see for Cairns, firstly, what it means. A reminder, though, New Zealand have a game in hand tomorrow, but Cairns winning tonight will put Perth into 6th, and they're going to need 15 wins to make it.
For sure. And it's...
Unless Adelaide beat Melbourne on Sunday, right?
Well, in which case Adelaide can still potentially get there. Now, the one thing Perth can't have happen in either game, still a long way to go in this one, they can't get blown out in either game. There's Cotton, got away from Ben Air. He was fouled in the act of shooting 3.
Ben Air doesn't like it. Feels like that might have been Bryce kicking out the legs. Let's have a look at this one. So hard. He does the right thing. He's fighting around.
Oh.
And a cop one. Well, you don't really want to cop one for his troubles.
All right, so what Bryce, guys, he's just not into it. Bryce is complaining about is Ben Air going a stiff arm on him off the ball. Which I picked up.
No. I missed one.
One shot. 13. Greg, did you get that, Martin?
Cotton, a 91% free throw shooter this season. He's got 10 of their 16 in the first quarter.
And that's a worry because what happens is Cotton burns so much energy trying to get this thing back. Playing 40 minutes or 38 minutes. By Sunday, he has no legs.
3 more from a Juk Deng.
Well, they're on fire. 60% from the field. 4 of 9 from the three-point line.
Last players with the Wildcats. Manic backdoor went upstairs and was challenged. What a sensational opening quarter from the Cairns Taipans. Down on Soldiers, but not down on Spirit. They lead 30-16 at RAC Arena and have stunned the home crowd on Friday Night Hoops.
Joe.
Final spots on the line on Friday Night Hoops, and the Cairns Taipans have come out and dominated in the opening quarter. 30-16, they've spread the scoring around. Everyone except one who's been on the floor for the Taipans have scored. Meanwhile, for the Wildcats, a horror first term. 5 of 19 from the field, 0 of 5 from outside, and was smacked in the rebound count 17-5.
It's not good enough. This is not good enough. If Perth think they can just come out here and shoot the ball and win games, they're sadly mistaken. You got to play some kind of defense. 17-5 rebounds. You're losing by, and the Cairns don't even have their full team, Drew. It's not good enough, man.
Well, we saw an example of it. Juk Deng just walks in for an easy in the paint too. And this Wildcats stadium is almost dead quiet.
Where's the urgency? Somebody's got to. Can we get down to Damo and ask him what the crowd's like? What?
Well, there's stunned silence, really, relatively speaking. And the ball got jammed in the rim, so it was a jump ball.
Let's take a look at this. Here's Adam Ford going and having a chat to the youngster who copped the ball in the face early in the game. Isn't that fantastic? He has no need to do that or no reason to do that.
And then Shannon Short, who accidentally kicked it. So
how good is that? How good is that?
See him looking after the fans.
Shannon Scott kicked it. I said sorry about that. I didn't mean it.
No, he didn't. Just
fantastic. Meanwhile, Copes, we've spoken about Perth and where it's all gone wrong. Cairns have got 9 players to choose from tonight, and one of them's a development player. They just look together.
I said this from the beginning of the game. They're wounded dog, but they're playing like they're playing for something.
Another O-ball, another opportunity.
Juk Deng dribbles into a cul-de-sac. Swift hands from Cotton, but even swifter hands from Antonio. You can hear the groans of the Red Army. Damian Martin, what's happening courtside?
Oh, look, when you saw Adam Ford talk to that kid who got hit in the head with a basketball, I think he said to the youngster, hey, do you want to come out here? Even you could get some offensive rebounds right now. But at the other end, the Wildcats, they're trying to rely on scoring points to get this crowd into it. They need to get some stops. They need to show some intent, some hustle, some aggressiveness, some assertiveness, and that's how you're going to get 13,000 fans off their seats, not by just scoring 2 points, showing you want to get stops and you do whatever it takes to do so.
But Damo, the breakdowns on the defensive end, it's at this level, the ease at which Cairns have been able to score, is it just not adhering to a game plan? What are you seeing?
Well, the old rule of thumb, if you're going to switch for a reason and switch with purpose. Right now they're just switching, and Adam Ford in that time, at the end of the first quarter, he drew up what he wants to see when they do switch, so he can exploit the mismatches. So you're going to see a very aggressive Cairns Taipans every time they see the switch, because they believe they can take advantage of it. Switch with a purpose, switch with aggressiveness to take something away. Right now they're just doing it for the sake of doing it.
The man with the Defensive Player of the Year named in his honour, Damian Martin. If anyone knows about playing that end of the floor, it's him.
No, it's a valid point, because they have gotten away with in the past where they do switch a lot. I mean, a lot of teams do. But they're switching so much here, they're getting mismatches in all areas, and in particular on the O boards. They got the mismatch with the little guy. If they don't beat you with the post up, they're beating you on the second shot.
But this is embarrassing. I mean, I know you got time to get it back, but again, the amount of energy that you got to spend to get it back, Drew, means you ain't got a chance in hell to win that game on Sunday against the Sydney Kings. And I know you probably shouldn't be thinking about Sunday. You should be thinking about now. But this is a long struggle to get this one back, the way you're playing right now.
Well, last week when we saw in a similar situation, John really went to his bench. Ollie Hayes-Brown and really went to his bench to shake things up. He might have to have a look at that again based on what we've seen so far.
We saw last Friday, he went so deep to the bench, he brought in Ollie Hayes-Brown for 5 or 6 minutes.
Yes.
Man, get Damian Martin on the floor. Somebody that's going to fight.
He's just coming off an ACL, Damian Martin. It's caught, no good.
26%. They are 6 of 23. So that's really exaggerating their problems. What it is doing is exposing their defense. You know, if they were hanging in there and, you know, it's 35-29 and things aren't because they're knocking down some shots, you go, well, okay, well, this is the way they've been playing, but and can the Cairns Taipans sustain it? Because we've seen that the Perth Wildcats have been elite at scoring the ball. But Cairns are doing a pretty good job down this end of the floor.
Perth have got 2 games remaining in the season. They need to win either tonight or Sunday.
Well, they really need to win both to 100% guarantee it.
Stuff no good. 25% for the field. Wardenberg turns the corner as easy as you like.
And they're going at Cotton, something you don't regularly see, but it's working for him.
Manic for 3.
You know,
maybe that might be the sort of thing that sparks them.
It is, and you don't have to go back too far to understand that things can turn. You only look at what happened last night in that New Zealand game. Illawarra Hawks at halftime very comfortably going about things.
37-21 pre-game. We caught up with Luke Travers and he spoke about what he thinks the keys are for tonight for Perth.
What's the keys to getting a win?
I think same sort of thing that we've been focusing on the last couple of weeks is transition and obviously defense for us. It's a big part of what we want to do and continue to build on and going into playoffs hopefully as well. So we know the importance of these games, so we're just looking forward to it.
Points in the paint and second chance points last weekend against South East Melbourne. The weekend prior, Tassie Jack Jumpers has let you down in weeks gone by. Has John really spoken about those 2 things?
Yeah, for sure, but I guess at the end of the day, it just comes down to the effort thing. And that's something that everyone's trying to work on as well, and we're looking forward to having the chance to, you know, fix it all up. So it should be a good one.
They've got some fixing to do.
Spoke about playing defense, something we haven't seen so far.
Well, right now they've got issues at both ends.
Yeah.
And that's why there's that 16-point buffer to the Cairns Taipans. And Cotton's got his 10. And outside of that, you start to look at this Wildcats team and you wonder where it's going to come from.
You know what, though, Drew? When you're losing 22-7 on the rebound count, you're going to be in, I don't care who you're playing against, you have trouble.
No, it's a hell of an advantage that you're giving to your opponent.
Just try and explain that for those watching at home. Is that lack of height? Is it intent or lack of intent? What is it?
It's a
Why
bit
the
of both.
disparity?
It's a bit of both, but I mean, the fact that they're shooting the ball and getting the offensive rebound means you're not boxing out.
Qual with the left hand.
Oh, it's just, how easy is it?
But that's not sophisticated offense. It's get it to the wing, penetrate the ball.
I post up.
And then it's not like there's some sort of misdirection you have to deal with. It's pretty basic stuff.
Foul will be on the floor. Ty Webster has returned from a hamstring injury.
Well, the other one that throughout this period, the last couple of months, it's been a real offensive threat is Corey Webster. And right now, he's 0 of 2. He's only played 10 minutes. But he's one that need to get him going. This guy's been great. Second knockdown for him in this one. And they're going to need it.
40% shooter from outside across the season, Brady Manick. Going to need all of that for the remainder of this game. Hogue wide open. The Bullets dodge a bullet. The Wildcats dodge a bullet there. Cotton tears down the floor at the other end. 5 unanswered points. It's a mini run, but it's just enough for Adam Ford to want to bring his men in for a chat.
He's a smart man. Straight away when he sees something like that, he calls a timeout. Let's get back on track, guys.
Some instructions for his man. They lead 39-26 at RAC Arena. Pre-game, we caught up with Sam Wardenberg, and he spoke about what his keys are for the Taipans.
You know, we just got to come with intensity. You got to have some fun out here. It's something that, you know, we've been high stakes lately, so you know, it's something we got to kind of bring back, just have that fun mentality. You know, Wildcats are playing amazing offense, we know that, so we got to lock in defensively. Last couple of games we've given up 50 points at the half, you know, so we just got to lock down, focus on them, and just make sure we're doing our thing.
very few poor games played by the Cairns Taipans, but the two that Adam Ford pointed out during the week were against the Wildcats, in particular giving up too many three-pointers. Is that something he's spoken about to his players?
Yeah, for sure. You know, we've highlighted those games, the mistakes we made, and what we need to do to fix them. You know, it's been a big focus. They are the two games this season where we've been kind of kicked back, but you know, we're ready and we're prepared well.
Well, they've certainly come prepared tonight. The Taipans, we've spoken so much about the Wildcats playoff scenarios. If Cairns win tonight, they'll watch on tomorrow. New Zealand play Brisbane. Barry Brown Jr. a game-time decision for the Breakers. If New Zealand win, they will finish second.
Yep, fate's in their hands.
If they lose, Cairns will finish second.
That's right. And, you know, you'd rather be in the New Zealand situation where you can take care of business yourself. Go out there, win that game, and you finish second. Pretty simple. But in order for Cairns to have a chance to finish second, they've got to win this one. And that's a good start coming out of that timeout. Good full court, extended pressure. Force them into a turnover, get another possession.
Score the last 5 and have a chance to add to that. Off the timeout. Webster loses the handle. Damian Martin courtside.
You mentioned momentum and Adam Ford calling his second timeout in the matter of minutes. When Brady Manick hit his first three, he went straight to the bench, called a timeout. He does not want Brady getting into some rhythm and getting this Red Army involved in the game. Then they get another one, boom, timeout. But credit John really, in that timeout, he challenges players to pick up full court, pressure them, force them over the top pass, and it's led to a turnover. You need the Wildcats to rebound and play some defense if they want to get back in this game.
Starting to make a run at it. Clock no good with the left hand, and Mayer did a good job of keeping Wagstaff off the glass. Meanwhile, Cotton took a bump. It's a bit sore coming back down the floor. Scott for a deep 2.
Nice and smooth. Stay aggressive is the message.
Just like that, snuffs out a bit of what Perth were building. Manick open, that's his third.
It looks so smooth and comfortable. When he gets his feet set, we've seen his ability to also do it off the bounce, but when he gets his feet set, he is very reliable.
Ho can't respond. 43-29 at RAC Arena. Friday night hoops here in the Hungry Jacks NBL. Foul on Jesse Wagstaff. Here's the Amy replay.
Well, here's that switching that we're talking about, and you know, that's one that perhaps Travers can get over the top of. Instead, they make the switch, and Jesse Wagstaff's got to guard the ball carrier. And that time there, nice little action, and they get Manick wide open in the corner.
Let's take a look at Bryce.
Oh, just one in the midsection.
It's a setback. Ben Air found that out in the first quarter.
And that those jump shots have dried up.
To Sean Thomas end to end. This is with the left-hand layup. It's certainly better from Perth in this second quarter. They were coming off a low base. Hogue, beautiful pass for Wardenberg. Thomas blocks the shot.
They seem to be posting up, Drewy, on that box and playing out of the post.
Webster can't get the 3 to stick. Now Hogue coast to coast. No good with the left hand either. Ball's not dropping for Cairns in this second quarter. Webster with 10 on the shot clock. Goes inside and Qual went straight up.
Problem is not dropping for Perth either, is it?
That's it.
Now Qual drives and draws a foul. They didn't get the call at one end. Qual gets it at the other. The Red Army are about to lose it.
Yeah, exactly. But Cope's point is valid. It's just that they had a little run there. There's nothing wrong with that. He's straight up. There's no foul there. That's a good no call. He goes up vertically, hands up in the air, no contact upstairs and down the other end. they were able to get to the rim.
John really is absolutely filthy on those calls.
He's about to pop.
Well, to me, it didn't seem like there was a whole lot in it. Tajir McCall doing a little bit of coaching on the sideline, which you'd love to see.
2:20 remaining in the first half. If you have just joined us earlier tonight, the Adelaide 36ers winners in their final home game of the season. 115 to 108 over the Sydney Kings, who will be at RAC Arena on Sunday. And the interesting little add-on to that game now, Coach, is that Xavier Cooks did not suit up tonight for the Sydney Kings.
So he's nice and fresh, ready to roll on Sunday afternoon.
And not only that, you know, there's a bit of an injury concern about Derek Walton Jr. He didn't play the last quarter, neither did DJ Vasiljevic. They went into a nice 8-point lead in that last quarter, and I think they gave up 34 points to the Adelaide 36ers, which is a little uncharacteristic for the Sydney Kings.
It's all right. You'll see a different Sydney Kings team on Sunday, I reckon, with the starting five. Should be a good game.
And that will be the final day of the regular season. Melbourne and Adelaide first at John Cain Arena. Melbourne's first home game in over a month, and it's been sold out for 3 weeks, this game.
Yeah, it is. It's you say that right across the country. The last couple of months been sellouts all over the place.
Here.
Tasmania.
Adelaide again tonight was a sellout. That's 5 of their last 6 home games.
Fans are coming out, aren't they?
Why wouldn't you? Especially this time of year. Ball goes 1 of 2. 15-point lead for the visitors. Cotton from the free throw line. Rattles out. Something we say often for Bryce. Hogue walks into the 3.
How could he be that wide open? He's a shooter.
There was a late closeout by Manning, just trying to protect the rim. They're getting blown by, so they identify the kick-out pass, and it's just too easy.
It's okay to score 2 points, but if you're giving away 3.
Wildcats 33% from the field. Deng from close range. Again, too easy.
They're just so efficient. They're at 52%.
Cotton drives and Hogue blocks that shot. Late whistle. And Bryce lands hard.
He's got to deal with a lot. Bryce has to wear a lot of physical contact with strategies of teams to trying to counter Bryce, which is so hard. A lot of it's just wearing down. And off the ball when he's cutting, that time there, a lot of contact, gets hit. And I think that'll go against Hogue. And there you see him coming down on that leg. Hopefully that's nothing too serious.
This is his happy place.
It's 2 on Hogue.
This is going to have to be mighty tonight, Bryce.
It's been a mighty effort for the Cairns Taipans and what they've been able to do to slow down the Perth Wildcats. The Wildcats average 93 points a game. And here we are with a minute and change before half-time. They've only got 33.
Some extended pressure. A stray elbow from Bull Qual cleans up Jesse Wagstaff. Normally the roles are reversed.
I want to see this.
Good double team. Quick double. Oh, yeah, the elbow.
Got him. Just throw it off his leg.
Or just the pass immediately back, and they only get away with that because the instant ball pressure allows the double team to come. He gets caught up in it.
We got offensive foul here.
And that's against Cotton. which will be his second. Ben Ayre's been given the responsibility of trying to chase Bryce around, and it's fair to say he's annoying him.
He is. He's good at it.
Cotton still got 14 points.
The Taipans haven't beaten the trap yet. Now they do. Antonio. The Perth local can't score. Ooh. Thomas marches his way in. The basket won't count.
Thomas, he's had some looks around the basket. He's 2 of 7, and he's missed 2 or 3 that he should have made. Now, he missed that one, and yep, he got fouled, but they're the ones he's got to be powering it up. He should be going to the line for an and one, not just to finish the 2.
He's been pretty good, though, the last... You have to admit, he's been pretty good the last...
Oh, he has.
Second half of the season, anyway.
Oh, my word. And you see the last time they played, 22 points on a spectacular 9 of 13 and the 12 boards and 6 assists. So he had an outstanding evening in Cairns.
Very quiet on Friday against Illawarra. Hit back hard. There's John Riley. Has a behaviour warning. The frustration has been building. Final minute before halftime. The undermanned Taipans are going to take a big lead in, but this full-court press has been troubling the Taipans.
Well, it's a delay game this time become Jesse Wagstaff because he came over the line. So he's just trying to test the limits of the officials, come out, and this extended pressure has been good for the Wildcats. It's engaged them. It's given them some energy. And you do expose yourself in transition like this. Ooh. And there's a foul, and we're going to go down the other end, and Cotton's going to go to what Jackie Heverin appropriately called his happy place. He's going to shoot a couple of free throws.
Go to your happy place, Happy.
Nothing wrong with that, bro.
What's that one from?
Happy Gilmore.
Oh, there you go.
I got the movie wrong earlier in the night. I'm going to get that one wrong. Coming into tonight, Bryce Cotton was 171 from 187 from outside.
2 shots, guys.
Tonight, he's a perfect 6 from 6.
Until you just give it to him.
I was just about to say, that's 43 in a row.
Oh, my goodness.
Oh, no. Sorry, Bryce.
You can't speak more highly of what Cairns have come in the way in which, and maybe sometimes when you've got so many guys out, you've got these injuries, you play loose, expectations are a lot lower.
It's you against the world.
And it's been a really high quality first half for the Cairns Taipans. And they're getting, Lat Mayen's only played in a few games. He's come in, he's played his role and getting an opportunity.
7 seconds left for Perth. Plenty of time to get a good look away. Wagstaff to the cup. Takes it at Davey and draws a foul.
That's a veteran move right there, 100%.
Yeah, and they've done enough just in this latter stages of the second quarter just to go in there and you feel like you're in with a bit of momentum.
Yep.
You've got some good value out of the extended defense, and more importantly, you've reduced the margin. And this potentially get it back to an 11-point lead.
This will be free throw attempts number 13 and 14, so they've been able to get on the line in the opening half.
Well, that's right, and it's and they would have watched the game last night and saw what happened with the New Zealand Breakers when you're thinking, gee, all is lost. They've coughed up an opportunity to really make some inroads, may have given up that second spot, but then in the third quarter they just come out and turn it on the defensive end, and the game's changed completely.
New Zealand came from 16 down last night. Perth are down 12. Last look for the Taipans. Shannon Scott's floater doesn't go. It's been a mighty first half from Cairns. They lead 49-37. The cupboard's pretty bare for them tonight, but they're finding a way to put points on the board.
They're hanging around, and they'll go in with, like I said, a little bit of momentum, some good signs that last 2 or 3 minutes, but still a lot to think about how they're going to deal with the Cairns Taipans.
Majuk Deng, the leading scorer for Cairns in the opening half, has 12 points, playing a big role off the bench. Let's get down to Damien Martin, who's got Bulkwal.
I'm here with Bulkwal. I think he's had an amazing 20 minutes, taking guys into the post and just exposing them. Has that been a game plan to take the smaller players down low?
No, I think we're just taking advantage of our spacing. We got a lot of shooters, so we can play a little bit inside.
Every time there seems to be a mismatch, you just see your coach, Adam Ford, yelling, go, go, go. That must instill a lot of confidence in your players.
Yeah, he's a player's coach. We ourselves have a lot of confidence, and he believes in each and every one of us. So.
And the unselfishness you guys are showing, giving that good to great pass for better looks. What do you think Fordy will say to you at halftime?
We got to close out better. I think we're focusing too much on things we can't control right now. So second half, we got to come out and just do what we did in the first quarter and just carry it throughout the whole game. Do that.
Best of luck in the second, mate.
They've been fantastic so far, the Taipans. They lead 49-37 at RAC Arena. It's the final round of the regular season here in the Hungry Jacks NBL, and the third place Cairns Taipans have come to play tonight. They lead 49-37. Some of their key personnel not out there, but they still managed to remain a well-oiled machine. And after what was a pretty horrible start for the Perth Wildcats, they've at least got themselves in the game at halftime.
Well, they certainly have, and that extended pressure that we saw started to hurry up the Cairns Taipans a little bit. They get it over the front line, and there's Cairns settling for decent looks, but ones that plays more into the way the Perth Wildcats want to play, and that is a lot of exchange the ball and a lot more offence. And yeah, they're going to be talking about their defence, the Perth Wildcats, but it needs to pick up. But they're only shooting at 33% from the field, and their offence has looked a little clunky. Give a lot of credit to the Cairns Taipans and the way in which they've taken the Wildcats out of their game.
We'll take a look at the highlights shortly. Copes, I know that a lot of us have been keeping an eye on the Bryce Cotton citizenship situation for the last couple of years. This report from the West Australian and Craig O'Donoghue on Wednesday that it looks like things are now going to be delayed even further because Basketball Australia and the AOC have decided that because Bryce probably won't be in the Olympics team when it comes around next year, they won't be involved in any fast tracking.
That's a disgrace. And this guy's been a pillar of basketball in this country for a very long time. MVP, done the right thing, applied for his citizenship, and now that they don't think he's going to be a part of the program, they're going to pull the plug on it, which is crazy to me.
That to me makes zero sense whatsoever, and almost to a point where I need to check that because I find it really hard.
Can you make some phone calls?
Well, but it's not just how Basketball Australia wouldn't want to get him his citizenship. Even, okay, you know what, even if stupidly they think, well, we're not sure he's good enough or anything like that, you never know. You go ahead and get that so at least he's an option for you.
Right.
And why they'd be calling up the OAC to say, hey, just back off, fellas, we're okay, that is outright stupidity. So I don't know if, in fact, that is the truth. In fact, I need to check that because I don't think Basketball Australia would be that stupid to do something like that.
You mean you hope they wouldn't be?
That is outright just that's just makes no sense whatsoever not to follow through on that, get it done, and have it as an option. Now I know you can only take one, and there are others that.
But they need shooters, Joey, and he can shoot the ball. They need scorers.
True, but and that is true, and I love him. Obviously, you can tell by my passion. But even if, for whatever reason, we're not sure, can he do this? Can he do that? Get him in there just in case.
Yep, that's right.
Some phone calls might be made, I reckon, if the GOAT says so. It normally happens. Let's take a look at our Hungry Jacks highlights from the opening half. Copes, talk us through what you saw in the first quarter from Perth.
Well, look, the thing I saw was no defense because Cairns tore them apart. Cairns got that ball in the box, and once they got it on the box, you doubled down, they kicked it out, guys knocking down threes. But they did a great job of just posting up the small guys and scoring the basket. The passion was there for them. And like I said, don't count on the wounded dog, and they came out and played well in that first quarter.
Meanwhile, for the Wildcats, Drewy, 33% from the field. And the rebound count started to square up a little bit in the second quarter, but the reality is, as good as Bryce Cotton is, and we know how capable they are of scoring, but they're playing catch-up from here on in.
Well, they are, and they need adjustments at both ends of the floor. Figure out a way to counter what the Cairns Taipans are doing on the defensive end. And a lot of the times it can be the old adage, Operation Successful, Patient Die. They have had some good looks where you'd normally expect them to make them, but they're only shooting it at 33% from the field. So it's, and they started to rectify. They haven't completely rectified it, but they started to rectify the incredible annihilation they were copping on the boards. And they're getting the Cairns Taipans with the players out, others need to step up. Majuk Deng's been around this league a long time, and he's come in and given them exactly what they needed. He's got the 12 points, 5 or 7 from the field. Here's a player who's only been averaging 15 minutes or thereabouts a game, but with his experience, his length, the ability to shoot the ball, he's come in and it's been seamless, him coming in and getting those extra minutes.
It's a must-win game for the Perth Wildcats. It's as simple as that, and they'll go into the third quarter trailing by 12 here in the Hungry Jacks NBL. You're watching the Hungry Jacks NBL in front of another big crowd at RAC Arena in Perth. The Wildcats playing host to the Taipans, and it's Cairns who lead 49-37. Let's get courtside to Damian Martin. What are you seeing from the opening half, Damo?
Well, I thought there was a lack of defense and urgency from the Wildcats in regard to getting in a stance and then getting some rebounds. That's the obvious stuff, but when they started to get into a press, pick up full court, I thought the Cairns Taipans struggled at times, either with turnovers or taking the first open look they got earlier in the half when they put some points on the board and built that lead. They were being very unselfish. They were exploiting the mismatches, but then they're still making 2 or 3 extra passes, not just taking an open look, but taking the right look. And if anybody heard Gazy speak with such passion and love for Bryce Cotton, getting his citizenship, my new life goal is to do something in life where Gazy talks about me in that way.
Well, I've done that many a time in those private moments, but perhaps not in such glowing terms when you're knocking down 3-pointers to tie it up and beat us when he was in with the Kings. Still cry over that one.
Damo, what's your opinion on AOC and Basketball Australia pulling the plug on Bryce Cotton?
Oh, I was livid. I thought Matisse Thybulle was amazing for the Boomers, don't get me wrong. But Paddy Mills, you know, he's the reason we won a bronze medal off the back of what he's doing offensively. But if he slows down, if he doesn't put on those performances offensively like we've seen at the last 2 Olympics in particular, who do they have off the bench that is still capable of dropping 20 or 30 points? For me, that answer is Bryce Cotton, but we won't see him out there anymore.
It's a real shame. It's not too late to fix.
Nah, but guys like you and Andrew Gaze need to get on the phone and make some phone calls. Let's see what kind of power you got.
we're about to see, aren't we? It's never too late to fix a mistake. To Sean Thomas with a layup. All-important opening bucket of quarter number 3.
It is, and like I said during the halftime break, yep, they've got to rectify their problems on the defensive end. But also down that offensive end, it was not what we've seen of the Perth Wildcats the last month or so.
Shannon Scott swings to Qual, checks the feet. That's short as well.
Perth win or lose, though, I don't care. You cannot play defense the way they played that first half against any team going into the playoffs, because you're killing yourself.
It hasn't been a single-figure game since the score was 13-19. Perth are coming back. Cole drives and forces Manick into a foul.
It is, and when you're with a team that's switching so much, you can get the matchups you want.
Yeah.
Because you know that they're basically automatically switching on a lot of those sidelines on balls in particular.
So you keep swinging that ball
So
until
you get it to the right, and then you just ISO like we saw there. They like that matchup to take Brady Manick off the bounce, and they get to the cup.
Smart offense.
Let's push their lead back out to 10. This is their final game of the season, Cairns. Perth will be in action again on Sunday back at RAC Arena. They host the Sydney Kings. And they've made Sean Thomas a focus in this third quarter.
Absolutely, he can go. He's going to work on that box. He's good enough. Again, that's not the overall problem. They got to get some stops on this other end.
Scott's pass chopped off. Webster with a foot inside the line. That's well short. For Cairns, no Keanu Pinder, no Mirko Jeric, and Tajir McCall was a game-time decision. So there's 3 down tonight. Qual at Manick again. He's picked up 2 fouls in 60 seconds.
Yep. This is encouraging. This would just ease the nerves a little bit and get the Perth Wildcats, give them, I should say, a little bit more confidence. But most importantly, it's the test now for the Cairns Taipans. Yep. How do you respond to this little run that we've seen?
And that's 3 fouls on Manick here. So he'd be reluctant to play any kind of defense this next couple of minutes coming down the floor. So I'm going at him again.
Close rattle home for Bull Qual. He's got 11 points on the back of 15 on Monday against Adelaide. Oh, Thomas got rid of Wardenberg.
I think Wardenberg flopped. I think it was just he slipped. And Thomas has started this second half in nice form. They've gone to him down low, and he's made a basket in transition.
He's got 14 points now, only behind Bryce Cotton with 15. Manic, feet set, no good. Thomas, monster offensive rebound, 6-point game.
Did these two teams change jersey at halftime?
I don't know, maybe.
Because of everything we were saying about the Perth Wildcats in that first half, now applying to the Cairns Taipans. Here we see down low, and that's just a slip more than anything. And then the ease at which now, oh, they've got a little bit of a flop there.
He tried to take the move.
And the Cairns Taipans struggling to put the ball in the hole.
Just their third offensive rebound of the game on the Amy replay to Sean Thomas has been the pillar in which they built around in this third quarter.
He's actually turned his game around, because when he first got here, Julie, I was worried about him, to be honest. Maybe it took him a little time to get going, but once he got going, it was him and Cotton that carried this team.
Here are our contenders for the Andrew Gaze Trophy. Bryce Cotton, who we're seeing in action tonight. Xavier Cooks, who we didn't see in action earlier on tonight for the Sydney Kings. He was rested. And Mitch Creek, who won't take any part in round 18 as the Phoenix season has finished. Copes, who you got?
I'm a Cooks man. I've been a Cooks man the whole year. I just like what he brings to the team and how he plays. Because they've been in first place the whole year, you know, I'm with him. But all three deserve that trophy.
Oh, my word, they've all been spectacular. Like I said a little earlier, I think Xavier Cooks will win just because of the record of the seven. But if I was voting on who I would be picking, and it's very hard to separate, Mitch Creek has been remarkably consistent and carried a team that's had to face ridiculous adversity with the injuries they've had. He'd probably get the nod, in my opinion. Not by much, though, I might add.
It's interesting. You could mount the same argument for Bryce Cotton this season, couldn't you? Without Bryce,
you could. And maybe
Lord knows where this Wildcats team would be.
That's right. And I think we take it for granted a little.
Would have been nice for him to knock that one down on cue, just as we were talking about him. He's got 15. Majuk Deng, not shy. Why not? Had a good first half. Perth are crashing the boards. Travis. Misses. Can't knock it in off the tip in either. The Wildcats are making a move, no question about that.
Couple of good looks. And
what you don't see is those guys going back to the post, posting up like they did early in the first quarter. Using their size.
Great job.
They led by as much as 17 in the second quarter, Cairns. Perth are within 8. Hogue pops out. Unsuccessful.
they're going to get called for a foul here, the Perth Wildcats. And yep, you don't want that. But at least they're in there competing. They're in there having a crack and trying to rectify their problems on the boards. And it has gotten a little bit better, 30-23. And Brady Manning checks out of the game.
With the 3 fouls.
3 fouls, yes.
All of a sudden, the rebound count doesn't look that bad.
And all of a sudden, for most of that first half, the Cairns Taipans were up in the high 50s with their shooting percentages. It's gone all the way down to 42. And they're struggling to knock down the 3 ball, 6 and 26.
Offensive foul on Hogue. Guess who steps in and takes the charge?
Absolutely. That's removed every single time.
Well, the percentages aren't his way in regards to taking charges.
And he's there.
He falls on the floor a lot, and he doesn't get the benefit of that very often these days. And that one, pretty clear cut. Yeah.
5 minutes remaining in the third quarter. Cotton up top. He came flying in from nowhere, Bryce.
He almost tip-dumped in his own miss. Comes flying in, and that's the type of
Urgency and effort you want to see.
Misses his shot, a la Larry Bird, in what was it, the 83, where he went and got his own rebound. Bryce almost went and did one better. And two hands stuffed his own miss in.
He almost came in that fast that he very nearly overran it.
Well, they've called this not shooting.
I think he got hit before he got to the ball. I didn't try to tip it back in.
No.
Didn't quite hear how they justify why this is not. Maybe they didn't assume that was a shot.
Just grabbed the ring. Maybe.
Saying that he didn't have full control of the ball.
Probably true. Good call by the officials.
Dan did a good job for all but the last second of that play and gave away a foul.
He did, and they're making a target of Thomas.
Well, they got Sam Waterberg on the bench with 3 fouls, Cairns, and Count Pinder not playing. So 2 to Sean Thomas. This one's for you.
Oh, about the car?
Yeah.
Well, I don't know.
Because we can't get a word in when MG Reed comes
I
up.
cannot provide any more superlatives for the way in which this vehicle sits on the road, drives, and 0 purchases at any petrol station required.
Have you driven above 60 though?
My word, I do. This thing, you put the foot down, it answers. You ask the question, it gives you the answer in spades. And you can win one at home. Jump on the NBL website, put your details in, and you could be driving away with a fully electric vehicle.
Benair blocked. Has he taken you for driving the car yet, Coach?
I have not been invited in the car yet. Nope. Not one time. Thank you, boy.
Me neither. I haven't been taken.
He's almost lost possession off the inbound. They are finding scoring really hard right now. Thomas with another block. Perth trail by 6.
Gotta go up soon, doesn't it?
A lot of standing around.
Cotton with 5 on the clock. Doesn't get it to go.
That was just 5 out. Not a lot happening.
Oh.
Points to 6 in this third quarter, Perth's favour.
And what the Cairns Taipans have done a good job of is taking away the 3 ball from the Perth Wildcats. They're only 3 of 12, and 12 is not many.
And 3 is not many. They have made many.
No, that's true, but it's about the opportunities. There's a Todd Blanchfield signing. He's come on.
Let's get to Damien Martin courtside.
Todd Blanchfield is indeed out there, and it's great to see him. Hopefully he does his thing, but it's a completely different style of play in this third quarter from the Perth Wildcats. No longer does it seem to be a goal of let's just get to 108 and see if other teams can run with us. Instead, it's more of a grinded out type of field. Credit Tayshaun Thomas. He's been great at both ends. And when it comes to putting in your own tip dunk off a missed 3, shout out to Brad Newell. He's the only player I've ever seen do it. He did it with the Boomers about 12 years ago.
Gentleman doesn't look too happy with the call.
This is a team that the Perth Wildcats, on the season, they're averaging close to 30 3-point field goal attempts per game.
Taipans are being challenged in quarter number 3. Always patient in their offense. Qual gets his own rebound and scores. Manic couldn't foul and Qual knew it.
He's got such a big, strong body.
Just breathe for a moment. They've got the lead back out to 10. Did get as close as 6 in the last couple of minutes. Travers' pass was a little ambitious. It's picked off by Shannon Scott. Air deep on the 3. It's tipped back to the advantage of Cairns. Air calls off the chase, and that's wide.
Confidence right there. I love this kid.
It is. And
He gets it done.
again, Coach, they run the switch. And even if you had missed that, you had Bryce Cotton on Majuk Deng on that rebound contest. And Majuk Deng did the right thing, just told him to go ahead and shoot it because he felt he had a good rebounding, offensive rebounding position.
Lanchfield travels. Adam Ford was making sure they missed that one.
He called that two minutes ago. he got that one, bro.
Just a little shuffling on the feet when he picked up the ball.
He's riding every play tonight and means so much to them this game, Cairns. New Zealand play Brisbane tomorrow to lock away second, but with the Bullets, you just never know.
You just never know.
Talk about what it means for the Cairns Taipans. This is playoff survival for the Perth Wildcats.
And last year they were sort of in the same position, Drew. They had to win that last game.
They did. They had 2 cracks at it last year as well. And
You start thinking about things like that. You freeze up.
Very last game of the season, the Southeast Melbourne Phoenix, who couldn't make it at that stage, went and did a number on the Wildcats in Perth and ended the 35-year playoff run.
Sent him on vacation early, didn't he?
Well, right now, the Melbourne United, Southeast Melbourne Phoenix, Adelaide 36ers, they're up and about with what they see goings on right here.
Then stripped by Thomas. Cotton lays it up.
Long way to go, though.
Seconds remaining in the third quarter. That is too easy.
Oh, goodness.
Just have not been able to get multiple stops. Ben Air downhill. Blocked by Travers. Manic for 3.
He's got the touch, doesn't he?
Points needed.
4 of 6 from outside for the Oklahoma native.
I think that was a 2-for-1 attempt, but he still had a bit more time to get a better look than that. Instead, well, they do a good job of just stalling to wait before they throw the ball in bounds in order to eat up 4 or 5 seconds. Smart play by the Cairns Taipans. It was about 4, John. It was close, but I'm with you.
Game and shot clock as 1. Shannon Scott in possession. That jumps out. Game on with a quarter remaining in RAC Arena.
That poor kid's ducking all over the place.
64-56. You're watching Friday Night Hoops. Playoff spots on the line here in the Hungry Jacks NBL. stakes couldn't be any higher as we start the last quarter at RAC Arena. Cairns leading 64-56 over the Wildcats. For Cairns, a win tonight will get them into second spot with a couple of days remaining in the season. For Perth, a loss tonight will mean that it goes down to the last game of the season for the second season in a row to make the playoffs.
I love it. I love it. And this is unfamiliar territory for the Perth Wildcats as far as points. Points have really been hard to come by in this one.
But surely other teams see this and learn how to play these guys, or how to, you know what I mean?
Well, the intent is always there, and it's been their offense that's just been able to deal with some of the defensive efforts that they've had to face up to over the last couple of months. And again, they go to Thomas. Made a good target out of him, 18 points now. And they've only got one guy. Brady Maddox 4 of 6. No one else on the Perth Wildcats has made a three-pointer. Cotton's 0 for 4. That'd be scary if you're a Cairns Taipans fan, because it's unusual for him to go over.
Oh, he's gonna get hot. He'll knock one down.
And they've done an outstanding job of taking away the three-point line. Only the 14 three-point field goal attempts.
What do they average? 30?
30, well, just under 30.
Shot clock at 9 for Bull Qual. Not much happening this offensive set for Cairns. So Majuk Deng fires away. Unsuccessful. Damian Martin courtside.
Listening to Adam Ford and the Cairns Taipans at the end of the third there, and he thought his players were their own worst enemy. He thought they weren't taking the shots they should be at one end, and they weren't playing defense without fouling at the other. And he credited his bench. He thought that they started poorly, the bench came on, and someone like a Benny Air in particular was fantastic. So he just said to his guys, play aggressive, back yourself, and guard without fouling. Pretty simple messages. Let's see if they can do it now.
Bit going on here.
It is. There's a lot at stake. Well, the young fella, Mayan, who's, like I said, has only played in 10 games this season, and that's mostly in jump time. And bench points. Here's one for you. 27 bench points for the Cairns Taipans, only 3 for the Perth Wildcats. And that's been a trend because the shortened rotation with the Perth Wildcats, but that is stark, a stark comparison.
Fascinating, the use of Corey Webster tonight, Coach. 2 points on 1 of 5.
Yep.
Not out there to start the fourth quarter. His brother Ty, back into the team tonight, is on the line. Hasn't scored up until potentially this opportunity.
And really is one of those guys, if you're not producing, he's not playing you. So, well, these guys are out there to help Cotton on the offensive end, and really they're struggling tonight.
We can get caught up in the plus minuses sometimes a little too much, but in this one here, Corey Webster, when he's been on the floor, they're minus 12. Ty Webster on the flip side is plus 12. So
neither one of them are scoring though.
There might be some correlation between that and his limited production.
5 on the shot clock. Qual baseline. Points will be waved away, and an offensive foul. Use of that offhand and off arm. Jonah Antonio about to check in for Bull Qual. Let's take a look.
See, it's soft. It's there, but it's soft. Just the off arm. Just grabbed him.
And that's 4 on him.
That's why he comes out. The Red Army is starting to lift. Meanwhile, Bryce Cotton's on sneaky triple-double watch right now. 19 points, 8 rebounds, and 7 assists.
Wow. That guy's a machine.
Mayan from the corner.
Huge. This guy here.
Not playing a lot of minutes, but he's confident.
Virtually unsighted the entire season.
No, he likes to dance on the sideline.
He's a good dancer.
He's a great dancer.
Webster might have got away with the travel in. Cairns are going to get the ball back. It's his first pro contract, Lat Mayan. Spent some time with the Centre of Excellence.
Yeah.
2 more for Antonio.
Jeez.
John really calls a timeout. just as they were starting to get a stranglehold on the game, Perth, they go to sleep at the defensive end, and the margin is back to 10 again. 7:55 remaining. It's 69-59.
Wow, every time they able to come back and get close. That's the second time they've got it back to 5, and the Cairns Taipans have been able to respond. And we've spoken all night about the rebounding situation. To the Wildcats' credit, they've made inroads. 37 boards to the Cairns Taipans, 31 for the Wildcats. So since just before half-time, they started to make some changes, and they've been able to rectify issues on the glass.
But you know what it is? You know why these guys keep coming the way they're coming? It's the confidence that Adam Ford feeds these guys. Keep shooting the ball. Don't be afraid. Go hard. That's your shot. So when a coach is yelling at you like that, you're not afraid to get it up.
Great to have your company on Friday Night Hoops. We're at RAC Arena, where the Perth Wildcats in a must-win game are down 10 with 7:55 remaining. The Taipans have scored off their last 2 trips down the floor.
So he's got to get up. He's got to get up. You cannot stand back in the middle of the lane on a hot pick and roll and let Cotton come up and see the light.
That's 100% spot on, and particularly in this context. You know, it's Bryce time right now, and it's his first 3-point field goal make.
You don't want him seeing that. You don't want him knocking that 3-pointer down, because once he knocks one down, he's coming at you. I'm doubling him off every pick and roll, making him get rid of the ball.
Antonio with a big offensive rebound. Wildcats fouled on the floor.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Amy, replay here. See, he walks off. Now, Wardenberg's way too deep when it's Bryce Cotton. You might get away with that with some others.
He's deep, yeah.
But when Bryce Cotton comes off, you got to come out. And as you've been constantly saying, make someone else beat you.
You beating us now.
Into the chest of Norton. And he didn't have position, and a block's been called. Oh, points will count too.
What do you think the other teams are doing right now at home? They're watching this game.
Oh, they're excited. They're excited because they can see opportunity.
Let's get courtside to Damian Martin.
Oh, I just quickly had flashbacks when I saw Wardenberg guarding Bryce Cotton off that screen so deep. I thought, oh no, it's Bogut guarding me, but there's a difference between Bryce Cotton and I, so I completely agree with what you guys said. They need to be up and in, not sagging off like he's a non-shooter.
Yeah, I'm sure that wasn't to Adams Ford's liking. That wasn't strategic of what they were trying to do, that's for sure.
I'm in fact, whenever he's got the ball, I'm going to double him. I'm making somebody else beat me. Now, it might be crazy, but we know Cotton is coming. How many times does he have to prove it?
8-point game. Hogue from outside. That's big.
Same applies to this guy here. Oh, he's got the advantage of that size.
That's more like it.
There you go. That's how you play it.
That's more like it right there.
14 points now for DJ Hogue. His third 3-ball of the game. Such a beautiful shooter when he's in motion.
Man down, man down.
And Maddox got to stay a lot more connected on Hogue.
Wardenberg in the mid-range.
Wardenberg, do you know Cotton? You know who he is? You gotta lift your hands, bro.
Fourth quarter at RAC Arena. Matt has really relished his opportunity tonight. He's blocked by Travers and then loses the handle.
And John really has made a conscious decision, I think, here to prioritise his defence a little bit more. He saw Hogue make that 3-ball, so straight away he goes to one of his junkyard dogs out there in Wagstaff just to try and be a little bit more aggressive on those threes. There you see Bryce Cotton needs 3 more for his first NBL triple-double.
I believe he hasn't had one before. Tees off, big rebound by Majuk Deng. Antonio steps inside. No good. Deng slaps it back, but with the waiting arms into Sean Thomas. 9-point lead to the Taipans. They have led exclusively across this game. No foul. Referee's letting it go. They're undersized and they're undermanned, Cairns. And they're finding a way to make it happen. Scott lost his man and buries it from the elbow. Travers unsuccessful. Time, not a factor yet, but it's not far off.
No, it's starting to get to desperation stages, and that one had gone in.
John Riley's got some fresh soldiers ready to check in at the scorer's table. 4:27 remaining. Taipans lead by 11.
Cairns have run these fans almost out of the stadium because you don't hear them now.
They're ready to explode. A couple of times they've been able to cut it back to 5 or 6, and you're thinking, well, here they come, but the Taipans have been able to step up when needed.
Fourth quarters have been a problem for Perth. In their last 2 losses against Southeast Melbourne and Tassie, they've been outscored 45-16 in the 4th term.
And we put that down mostly to fatigue.
Yeah.
Now, you don't have that excuse right now. Timeout is needed, and I'm not sure what that's all about, but it's a 3-ball.
I'll tell you off camera what he's talking about. Let me tell you something, though. And this is what I was talking about with Cotton playing, the amount of minutes he's playing. He's played 34 minutes. They're down 14 with 4 to go. If they lose this, what kind of legs will he have on Sunday when the Sydney Kings come to town?
And those 2 losses that we've spoken about, Copes, have been Sunday games. The last 3 rounds, including this one, Perth have played Friday, Sunday games.
That's right.
Yeah.
Here are your picks.
Well, these are the ones that when they twisted my arm, I was forced to fight, because there's a lot of different combinations that you could put forward, but there they all are. We've already spoken about Mitch Krieg and Chase Buford. Will McGowan-White, he has been sensational. The improvements that he has made and the role that he has with the Breakers. Barry Brown Jr. plays starter minutes, but he comes off the bench more times than he hasn't. Derek Pardon, he's been a big, big reason for why the Breakers have been able to turn their season around. The next gen, I've gone with Sam Crowley. You're not happy with that, Coach?
I'm happy with it, bro. We wanted to do mine, but you took so long reading your... it was on screen. People can read it, Joey.
I just got a message that said we're just doing mine.
Well, it's all about the gazes. Remember that now. Hey, it's not the Leonard Copeland Award.
Wait till you see
Gazes Award.
Wait till you see him on Tuesday. He will be strutting around.
Oh, is there? No, mate. Is there anyone that? Oh,
Yeah, there's a couple.
Oh, okay.
Don't worry about it, though.
Maybe we'll do that a little bit later.
Copes is filthy.
Next year's next lifetime, it might be the Copeland Awards.
Very hard to see how the Wildcats are going to get their way out of this one.
Keep him there. Great double team. Great double team.
Oh,
Get a ball up.
give it up.
Shannon.
Wow.
That's how
What a
you give it up.
pass. What a pass.
Oh, my. They are playing loose. They've weathered the storm. They've been composed. They've done an excellent job.
Great.
And now Shannon Scott just showing a little razzle-dazzle.
Come on, boy. And what?
There's a tech foul.
Adam Ford, who had already received a behaviour warning.
I assume he was perhaps in
Was that Majuk? Was that Majuk? Or?
Maybe Coates' corner, maybe he thought there should have been an end line, perhaps. Stepped over the line.
Travis went upstairs, couldn't finish with the jam. Travis fouled. Thomas fouled heavily, I should say.
I don't know if they got time here, Joey. What do you think?
No, there just doesn't seem a spirit about the way they're playing. It feels, and Damo might be able to share it, but from where we're sitting, just feels like there's just not the passion that's going on there. Adam Ford out there, he's known Bryce Cotton a long time. He's there with Trevor Gleeson as an assistant back when Bryce Cotton first came to this great country.
What do you think he's saying? Come on, Cotton, give me one. Let me get one over here at least.
You whopper your way to LA.
Venue feels flat.
Enter now, hungryjacks.com.au/whopper LA.
Tuck into a delicious burger and have an opportunity to go over and watch some NBA games. I think there's tickets included in that, Jackie boy.
If you say so. You're the boss. Let's get to Damian Martin.
Gazy is spot on. The courtside announcers trying to get everyone off their seats. Luke Travers was trying to get everyone off their seats with the dunk, but they are flat. Not the Red Army. It's more of a case of giving them something to really get excited about.
Yeah.
The first clips I'd be showing if the Wildcats lose this game, when Tayshaun Thomas, he had 3 defenders all jump in the air to contest a shot, and they still came up with a defensive rebound. That should have been a Wildcats offensive board. On the flip side, you see a shot goes up by the Cairns Taipans. They've got 2-3 plays flying in with no right whatsoever to get possession, but time after time again they are. They simply want it more.
That's a good point, Damo, and that's how we've seen. You hate to say it, because a lot at stake. They're playing in front of 13-odd thousand fans all on their side, and they just haven't been able to generate the momentum. Gee, that's
Wattenberg inside.
what a poor defensive effort. Thomas out there, no lateral movement. Damian Martin would just be throwing his pen down in disgust after seeing that effort, Damo. Here it is here, nothing, reached, probably should have been a holding foul, so he gets blown by, no help whatsoever, no contest, uncontested layup. That's not going to get it done.
Again, I say this. This one pretty much is over, I think. You try to play this kind of defense against the Sydney Kings, you're going to be in trouble.
Straight away, Tayshaun Thomas takes a spell. And he's one that, it's my understanding, he was brought in because of his defense and the way in which he can do it. And, you know, sometimes you just get caught out a little flat-footed, but, gee, that was not just him. He's got to do a better job keeping people in front, but the level of desperation, who's got his back? Where's the next guy coming in?
Win tonight is going to snap a 10-game losing streak that Cairns had against the Wildcats. And Adam Ford has never beaten Perth as a coach. That will change tonight. And copes with who they didn't have available and coming off a loss on Monday. This might be one of their best wins of the season.
Absolutely. Again, undermanned, coming to Perth, playing in front of 13,000, and all 13,000 are Perth fans. Believe that.
Yeah.
Not one Cairns fan in the city.
Nah, they might be the odd.
I don't know, Drew. I don't know.
Maybe Jonah or Antonio's parents.
Let's go.
He's a Perth kid. That's
Well, at the end of the day, from jump ball, they looked like they wanted it more.
Just looked flat.
Offensive rebounds, going to the glass, shooting the ball well, running Perth off the three-point line.
It's not like they've lit it up from the three-point, 10 of 39. So they've been throwing them up from threes. Haven't been all that successful. Only 25%.
There's Michael Harris. Surprisingly, John Riley's only just turned to him now. He's been getting some decent minutes in recent games. Timeout with 1:35 left.
Webster 1 for 6, Travers 1 for 7. Just not gonna get it done.
The other thing, which is a factor now for Perth, is it's not just the loss. Oh, sorry. Here are your picks.
And here are my picks.
The floor is yours.
Look up, Gazy.
Yep.
Cooks, my MVP, Coach of the Year.
All deserving.
Modi Mayor from New Zealand.
We are different on every one except for Sam Crowley.
Absolutely. Most improved player, Pinder, who probably could have been in that MVP if he didn't get hurt. Six-man, Rashad Kelly. Defensive player, Antonius Cleveland, who can ignite a crowd, and Sam Crowley, the Next Gen Awards. What a pick.
And that, I think, reflects how even it is this season that we can be so much apart on who our choices would be. And all of them, I look at that and I have no problems with any of them.
It's just so much talent along in the NBL that it looks good.
Tuesday night, 8:30 p.m. on ESPN. Around the world, you can join us. We'll crown all of our winners.
You're hosting? Looking forward to that.
Co-hosting.
Co-hosting? Who along with?
With the beautiful, unbelievably talented Nerily Meadows.
Oh,
what do I wear? What do I wear?
Black tie.
Black tie? Is it black tie?
Black suit.
And the Leonard Copeland Award will be up for grabs on the night. That's for the best performed player after hours.
Wow.
That's the best player in the nightclub.
Thank you.
That's your award.
Jackie, I don't go to the nightclubs anymore. I'm too old for the nightclubs.
It was a sort of a veterans club that get together.
At the RSL.
Wow, look at these two guys.
A little bit of bingo. And then who knows what can happen after that.
Laurie and Hardy here.
Hey, you know what we need to do? Is we need to pay a lot of respect and credit to the Cairns Taipans. This has been a special performance. Yeah, the Perth Wildcats have been down, but a lot of that's been forced upon them with what the Cairns Taipans and Adam Ford, their game plan has been able to put together, just taking away the three ball.
What a performance from Majuk Deng. Played nearly 150 games in this league, and it's his first double-double. No good that time. He's one of the leaders of this group, and he's stood up when it's mattered most. Sam Waterberg will foul out off the back of that one.
And based on what you're saying too, I'm a little surprised to see Bryce Cotton. This one's over. And a little surprised to see Bryce Cotton still in this ball game. And they're playing for their lives. And they've got the toughest challenge in the competition, the Sydney Kings, provided, of course, the Sydney Kings have a different approach to what they did tonight.
I think we can say they will. Won't they?
You wouldn't want to go into the finals dropping. Now, I know there's always going to be an asterisk next to it because they may not be playing under win-at-all-cost circumstances, but I don't think you want to go into a final series.
Coach, challenge is unsuccessful. The call on the floor is confirmed. Hand check foul and 2 shots.
They challenged the foul on Bryce Cotton. I think he's just having a bit of fun now.
Paul Mabry had sort of just checked out about halfway through that.
He's like, what are you doing here?
That's foul. 2 shots. Get on with it. Yeah, it's. I'd imagine there's going to be a lot of very nervous and very uncomfortable Perth Wildcats supporters right now.
Absolutely. Thinking, what are we doing?
We're at Perth Arena. I just had to try and back up my guy. You're in. He's fouled out. That's what I'm asking him. Fuck it, Al. What
I think he was just suggesting, what are you doing challenging right now? Even if we had to bucket it up, I mean, surely we could just move on. You got a nice 14-point lead. The game's over. But no, like he said, I like it. And I like what Adam Ford said. It's a great response. Hey, I'm going to support my players. I don't care if we're 50 up. I'm going to throw my support behind my players, and that's how you build those bonds.
And that's why they play so hard for
I've got your back.
That's why they play so hard for him.
And that's why he's one of the contenders as Coach of the Year.
100%. Drew, you coach NBL1. You guys have, you support your players like that?
We don't have challenges. We don't have the same. We can't throw out the challenge. But my word, I do. We try to.
Bennett. That one stick.
You know, and the reason I'm trying to think, well, why is Bryce in there? Why is he still? Percentages could be important.
Well, let me tell you something. You better get Bryce out of that game. You're smart. Save him for Sunday because they need to win on Sunday.
We can't afford to let this blow out at 20 or odd.
Played 37 minutes tonight.
Jory, get him out. Get him out and get him ready for the game on Sunday that you have to win.
Yep.
Cairns will ice the clock. Hogue with one last 3 ball. Absence creates opportunity.
I love it.
And the Cairns Taipans, undermanned, come to RAC Arena and record one of their biggest and arguably their gutsiest wins of NBL23.
And it's on the back of them losing the last 10 times they've taken on the Perth Wildcats. They've come up empty. They come in here undermanned, but full of heart, determination, and they got an unbelievable result, keeps their final 2 position alive.
They need New Zealand to lose tomorrow to finish in 2nd spot. And for the Perth Wildcats, it's deja vu. We return on Sunday in the final game of the season where the Wildcats will have to erase the demons of last season and beat Sydney to make the playoffs.
Not only last season, as you said, the last couple of weeks, they've lost on the Sunday. So this is going to be a hard game against Sydney Kings, who rested their MVP in Cooks. They're coming in ready to roll, so you got to be ready to play.
I think we learned a lot about Cairns tonight.
We learned that they are not going to, they are not just making up the numbers. When we should already know that by their performance throughout the course of the season. It's taken a long while for people to grasp that this team, they are legitimate championship contenders. They're building a fortress of their home court. They can win on the road, which they've demonstrated
without their
the course
superstar,
of the
without their superstar Pinder.
And they play hard, and you know what? They've got talent. They can put points on the board, and what we saw tonight and the way in which they can defend, and Jesse Wagstaff doing what Jesse Wagstaff should do. That shows some leadership and try and galvanise this team. Their preparation for the most important game of the season starts right now, and how they go about preparing for that game on Sunday.
There is our Foot Locker player of the game, Majuk Deng, 14 points on 6 of 13 and 11 rebounds to go with it as well. Bench players were absolutely massive for the Cairns Taipans all night long. We're going to come back and wrap it up on the other side of this. The Taipans win at 84-71.
Great result for the Cairns Taipans tonight. They will be in second spot as the ladder stands right now. 84-71 winners over the Perth Wildcats. A couple of times during the second half, the Wildcats made a run at them, but every single time the Taipans were able to weather the storm.
But they certainly did, and that's why you've got to take your hat off to them. And they came in with a great game plan. Take away the three ball, where the Perth Wildcats, since the New Year's, they've been shooting it at 48% from the three-point line on their home deck. Tonight, as you can take a look at the numbers, look at the three-point shooting. 5 of 19. It's low, but it's also well below the 29.5 that they've been averaging from the three-point line, and 35% from the field. It is tough to win games of basketball if you're only shooting at 35%. They actually did make some inroads and corrected a bit of their rebounding woes, so there were some corrections along the way, but just too big a head start to a high-quality team playing really with the house's money tonight. No one expected to win. They played loose. They were really effective on the offensive end, and as we take a look at the ladder, Copes, it's getting into the real worrying times now for the Perth Wildcats. In fact, as we speak, as we sit here right now, only by 0.04 ahead Melbourne United are on percentages.
And those guys will be sitting at home right now with a big smile on their face, knowing they got an opportunity to make the top six.
And as silly as it sounds, the Adelaide 36ers are not completely out of it yet. They needed Perth to drop both, and they've dropped one of them. Adelaide will play Melbourne on Sunday. As you can see, Sunday will decide the play-in series. United versus 36ers, and then Perth versus Sydney in the last game of the season. My goodness. What a finish to the season it's going to be. Thanks so much for being with us tonight. On behalf of Andrew Gaze, Leonard Copeland, Damien Martin, our team behind the scenes, we appreciate your company and can't wait to have you back tomorrow for a Saturday doubleheader.
This program is brought to you by Hungry Jack's and Bunnings Warehouse.